Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Booster Gold. Anyway, before I get started, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell icon down below to be notified when I post new videos. Also, hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and please share with your friends to help this channel grow. And once again, just to remind you, please subscribe. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So recently they announced the DC lineup for the new DCU. Now they're not going to be calling it the DCEU as it was, and technically was never actually called the DCEU, but fans took to calling it that, and it stuck. Now, when it comes to the Booster Gold thing, this is what I've been wanting to talk about. Really, that was the only thing I was actually excited for. Now, not everyone knows who Booster Gold is, and their depiction of him, actually based on the description, is spot on. Booster Gold is a time traveler from I think the 30th century, and he is essentially a loser in his timeline, but he wants to seek glory. He seeks heroism and simply to be an icon, as many of the heroes before him were. You have Superman. He looks up to Superman as essentially a symbol of heroism and hope, but he's not looking for hope. He's looking for glory and self-idolization or realization of a false heroic standpoint. And personally, I always enjoyed the character because eventually he does become the hero that he was always hoping to be, and in fact a better one than what he expected. He actually changes his ways and becomes a good man. And if they do this right in a series, live action series no less, it could be done well. A true coming of age story of basically a disgrace becoming a hero. And the character essentially steals technology from the future, or from his timeline, basic technology that in their timeline is essentially pointless. And he takes it and goes back in time and becomes a superhero known as Booster Gold. And he has a lot of association with characters like Blue Beetle, specifically Ted Kord, Blue Beetle. And they could actually do this in a way to introduce Blue Beetle, the Ted Kord version, to kind of tell the story behind the scenes of before the new Blue Beetle. Like, before Jaime Reyes, there was Ted Kord. It's a great way to introduce him, and a great way to kind of have him eventually mentor Jaime Reyes in a way. Not Ted Kord, but have Booster Gold mentor him. That would actually be a great movie to see. A sequel, really, or a spin-off, or something. Have Booster Gold featured in a Blue Beetle movie. If they do a sequel to Blue Beetle, I think it could do well. Personally, I'm a huge fan of all the Blue Beetles, whether it's Ted Kord, whether it's Jaime Reyes. I can't. There was another one in between or before Ted Kord, actually, I think, and he used the same scarab as Jaime Reyes, but it was not something I pay attention to as much as Ted Kord and Jaime Reyes. Now, not a lot of people know about these characters. Booster Gold is the one I'm going to focus on, though, because Booster Gold, he's not a very well-known character. In fact, they kind of hinted at him in the show Legends of Tomorrow. They showed him, and granted, I wasn't a huge fan of how they depicted him. Personality-wise, he was spot on, and kind of his whole disgraced false hero, yeah, that was actually done right. So, 1 second. I was sliding out of the chair. Anyway, the character he is actually the gray area kind of character you would find, but it's not that he's doing evil things, it's just that he is foolish, foolhardy, and a bit gung-ho about everything that he does. He's not very wise. He very much rushes into danger, but he's not trying to help anyone, really. He's really trying to just make himself known as a hero for the sake of glory and heroism. He just wants the adventure and the prestige of being a hero. And personally, he has a lot of struggles in that. Oftentimes he ends up being castrated, essentially, by the Justice League and other characters that point out his flaw and his falsehoods, especially the one person who really holds him accountable, Ted Kord. Ted Kord, better known as the Blue Beetle, kind of holds him accountable many times, but also helps him grow as a person. He's essentially the older brother that he never had, who helps him find his path. Oftentimes he has run-ins with Superman, and he has run-ins with other characters like the Legion of Tomorrow, the Legion of Superheroes. The Legion of Superheroes were a huge team of superheroes that derived their inspiration of becoming superheroes, a team of heroes like Superman and the Justice League. They derived their inspiration from Superman, much like how Booster Gold derived his own inspiration of becoming a superhero from the likes of Superman. However, in some versions, if you look at the Smallville series version of Booster Gold, he actually was spot on. His outfit might have been a bit much, but personally, I thought it was great. If you've seen the Smallville series, there's a whole episode regarding Superman and the legacy and the hero, the rise of a hero, and Booster Gold trying to essentially take over the title of Man of Steel or Man of Tomorrow. And, well, that's what you get with Booster Gold. He's just trying to become a hero, and this is what I'm hoping to see in the live-action series, especially a lot of episodes where he's just pretending to do good, or just trying to do good in some way, using his pal Skeets to essentially let him know when there's going to be danger, when there's going to be a need for a hero, and he shows up in the nick of time, supposedly, which really it's not the nick of time. He shows up right when he's told to show up, because he knows when something bad is going to happen before it happens because of Skeets. And if anyone's a fan of DC, they know, big fans of DC, most of them will know they'll know of Booster Gold, and they'll know about his connection to the Legion of Superheroes, and they'll know about his connection to that timeline, and the fact that there's going to be times also where he's trying to not mess up the timeline. He's trying to preserve it as much as he can. So he's very calculated in a lot of his decisions, and he's very much trying to he seeks glory. That's what he's trying to do. And he's a bit of an adventurer. He's not really, like I said, he's not the typical hero, but he becomes one. And that's the important part. He seeks to do good eventually. But you'll see him rise to that level little by little. And I'm hoping to see that in the James Gunn, David Safran version that they're trying to create. Now they have other characters that they could focus on, but Booster Gold is one I was honestly surprised to see in the lineup. It's one that I've been hoping for a long time. And I hope they cast the right guy. I want to see a blonde man with, athletic build, kind of a classic look to his face, very much a old school looking dude. But anyway, I digress. I can't really say what they're going to do or what the casting is going to be like. I'm just hoping that they cast him to look like the character in the comic books. And I hope his costume is essentially comic book accurate. And I hope they don't try to do the whole Legion of Superheroes storyline like that. That was very much, well, if they do, I feel like he needs to be hunted by someone from the Legion of Superheroes. But if not, then I hope that they also don't try to copy Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow kind of got it wrong in a big way, and it was kind of what made the show, from what I can tell, that show had its potential as well. Anyone who's seen time travel shows, they know Legends of Tomorrow had the potential to be a great one, and many people probably still enjoyed it to the very end. Personally, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I stopped really enjoying it after Season 2. Season 2 was really the last good season. After that, it kind of lost its point of view. It lost the point of being superheroes. Superheroes who were lost in time, or not lost in time, but essentially trying to find their place in history. Trying to be legends. And essentially, Booster Gold would have fit in very well as part of that team. And in the comics, from what I remember, he actually was a part of the Legends of Tomorrow. So, whatever they do, whatever they're planning to do with the Booster Gold series, I hope it involves time travel. I hope it involves all the characteristics of him becoming a hero that he was supposed to be. And I hope to see it just be a very good, hopeful series of a coming-of-age story and a rise of heroism in superhero movies. Anyway, on superhero shows. Well, that's all I'm going to talk about in this video. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. Also subscribe to this channel if you like the videos that we try to put out. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been Create TV. I'll see you next time. Bye.